Oh 07 Commanders. Frontier Dev just announced some details on the upcoming Vanguards release. The big news is that Squadrons are getting a complete overhaul. So if you've ever felt like Squadrons were just kind of there, that's about to change, big time. So let's jump right into what's coming. So Squadrons are being rebuilt from the ground up with a much bigger focus on identity and utility. Starting a squadron will be fairly straightforward. You'll head to the right-hand nav panel in your ship, click Create New Squadron, and for a modest fee of 10 million credits, you're on your way. It's worth noting that all the details, especially numbers like the startup fee, are of course subject to change before launch. Now once you're in, you'll be able to set up the basic info for your fledgling squadron, including its name, motto, description, and the activities that it's focused on. Don't worry, you can just check them all if you plan on doing everything. You can also align with a specific power and even a minor faction. And as you can see, there's also perks, but we'll get to that in a minute. You'll even be able to design your own squadron logo, using a collection of preset shapes and designs, of course. And oh, by the way, all of this info isn't just fluff. This stuff is there so that other commanders looking for a squadron can filter and find groups that actually match their playstyle and interests. They'll also be able to see if any of their friends are in a squadron, what activities that squadron's been up to, and even apply to join the squadron if they're accepting applications. Now, once your squadron is live, it gets its own home panel, again, right there in the right-hand nav panel. From here, squadron leaders can do things like manage the roster, send and receive invites, and monitor your squadron's faction alignment. You'll also be able to define up to 15 custom ranks within your squadron. These can denote hierarchy, but they can also be used for just assigning roles across your squadron, like combat wings or mining teams, logistics, whatever you need. Each rank will then also have its own set of permissions, so certain roles can manage things like sending invites or controlling the shared bank, or post to the bulletin board. Speaking of which, each squadron will now have its own bulletin board, which is used for asynchronous communication, like posting notices or making announcements and so forth. Now, here's where things start to get tasty. Let's talk about perks. Squadrons will now come with perks, and these aren't just cosmetic. There's primary perks, which apply to all members no matter where they are, and these are things like increased XP gain, better mining yields, reduced colonization costs, and you can even get insurance for lost cargo. Pretty cool. Secondly, there are faction-based perks, which kick in whenever a commander is flying in a system controlled by the squadron's allied minor faction. So yeah, perks aren't just a fun bonus, they're actually real incentives to join and stay active in a squadron that fits your goals. And if you're the competitive type, leaderboards are back too. But in addition to the overall squadron leaderboards, Frontier's trying to keep it fair. There will also be brackets that only contain the top 10 or so members of each squadron, so that smaller squadrons still have a chance to compete without being drowned out by the mega ones. Next up is a real game changer for group logistics, the Squadron Bank. This is a bank that's private to each squadron that allows its members to store and withdraw credits for use by all members. And you'll also be able to set custom withdrawal limits by rank. Not only that, but members will also be able to deposit and share commodities as well. So, if you're running a mining operation, you can stockpile platinum and distribute it as needed, right from a central stash. But, of course, the crown jewel of this update, and probably the part we've all been waiting for the most, Squadron Carriers. So these are supersized fleet carriers that are built specifically for squadrons. And yes, they come loaded. They include a massive shared storage for both commodities and on-foot gear, and also a shared hangar, meaning now your squadron can finally share ships back and forth. Got a new member who wants to try out combat? Now you can lend them a Python Mark II and let them try their hand. So this will be the first time that squadrons will have a physical, persistent presence in the galaxy beyond just a name and a tag. It's a great step toward player-built infrastructure that a lot of us have been waiting a long time for. So yeah, the Vanguards update is shaping up to be a huge step forward for Elite Dangerous, especially for those of us who love playing as a group. Or, like me, folks who haven't done a lot of playing as a group and really want to get into it. Things like custom identities, real logistics, meaningful perks, shared ships. Frontier's clearly aiming to make Squadrons something you actually want to be a part of. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I'll be jumping in there too. And if you found this useful, then a like, subscribe, and a share would be most appreciated. Until then, fly dangerously, Commanders. I'll see you next time.